Hello folks, I want to welcome you to my PowerPoint presentation, and I'm calling it Bridging the Gap because of what I mentioned in the last thing that you guys read to get to this point. But this is a new campaign that just came out. It's called Live Life to the Plus, and we're going to get into what that means. First of all, I want to actually point out that I put a little picture of my family here, and that's the reason that I do that is because just about everything I do in life is because of these three very significant people in my life. My wife Lynn, we've been married for 12 years, and my two boys Luke and Asher. And this little guy Asher here is the one that I mentioned that has the autism. And part of how we um, got involved with the marketing of this product that I'm going to show you today. So live life to the plus. How much plus do you have in your life? Now, what they mean by that is how much extra energy and how much extra resources do you have in order to do the things that you really enjoy. And you see a picture here of several families kind of doing things that they enjoy together. Um, and one of the things that my family enjoys, especially me and my boys, is paddleboarding. And if I didn't have the energy and the resources to do that, I mean, life would just be a lot less fun. And so that's the first question that they ask. How much, we all have busy lifestyles. We all have challenges in life, stresses and whatnot. We have our careers and our work and everything, but how much reserves do you have in order to do the things that you really enjoy? And that's kind of what this is about. Um, Now, this is by a well-known health expert. His name is Dr. Bill Sears. Incidentally, Dr. Bill Sears is the father of Robert Sears that I mentioned in my free resource. Um, uh, and so their whole family basically is involved in the medical community and actually do a lot to help people um, just all over the nation. And Dr. Bill Sears is very, very well known, and I really respect all of what he's done. But he says that 75% of all chronic disease is preventable. Now, isn't that amazing? But if you look at this long list of different things that are included, kind of sad, statistics is 1 in 3 people live with some form of cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular disease, especially in America, is pretty rampant. 30% of people suffer from some form. I know that that's what affected my own father whenever he passed away in 2000. And it's something that I'm really trying to pay more attention to at age 42. But you have a lot of people that are affected by that, and you can read as well as I can, so I'm not going to read this thing to you. Um, but 50% of men have cancer, and cancer is something that we're all concerned about, and we definitely don't want to be a statistic. 1 in 3 is obese. 30% of people are obese, and definitely could be living healthier. Um, this is another very well-known medical professional, Dr. David Katz, and he says that this may be the first generation of children who have a shorter life expectancy than their parents. It says by age 12, many of our children have developed the beginning stages of hardening of the arteries. This is alarming. Um, 1 in 3 children will develop diabetes in their lifetime. 25% of the children take prescription drugs on a regular basis. Man, we're talking about children here. And if this is happening to our children, I mean, it is an incredibly sad state of affairs, and something needs to be done to change all of this. Living life to the plus includes consuming more whole foods and less processed foods. Everybody knows that processed foods are really bad for you, and we talk about it. I think people will give mental assent to that fact. I know in our family, I mean, our boys really, really love chips, and we need to work hard to limit the chips and those kinds of things in their diets. And the reason that processed foods are so bad is that really is what we call zero foods. It doesn't add anything to your body. Your body doesn't have enough nutrient value coming from these foods, and so the body is often going to be hungry all the time. So what ends up happening is that we want to eat more, but the problem is we need to put foods into our body that actually satisfies all the needs that it has. And too often times with these processed foods, we don't get that nutrient value. Managing stress, everybody knows about stress. Getting enough, that's going back to the reserves. Do you have enough reserves in your life to be able to handle these things that come at you on a daily basis, and to be able to have enough reserves to enjoy the things that you really want to do? Getting adequate sleep. Too often people lose sleep at night for various reasons, stress being one of them. But it's challenging sometimes, to get sleep, enough sleep. The average adult needs at least 6 hours. 7 or 8 would be probably better, but the average adult, 6 hours of sleep or less. And if you're getting less than 6 hours, then man, something's really wrong. Exercising, everybody knows that exercising is important. It helps the body in many, many different ways. It helps, you know, boost our energy for one. It helps kind of regulate all of these different functions in our body, which I won't go into at this point, but it's something that we all need. And water is just so important. Something that was, that I heard and that I've always bought into is that, our bodies being 95 or better or more percent water, it really kind of says that we need to be consuming large quantities of water. The formula that I heard was that you need to drink half your body weight in ounces every day. And so I'm not going to do the math for you. For me, it means that I need to drink about 70 to 80 ounces of water a day, which is a lot of water, more water than sometimes I get on a daily basis. But that's what living to life to the plus looks like. Now, a significant thing that came out recently is the USDA and what they're saying now about the kinds of foods and the amounts of the portions of foods that we need to be consuming on a daily basis. In fact, every meal needs to look like this. And if you'll notice right off, half of the plate, they call this the diet plate method. Half of the plate right here needs to be fruits and vegetables. Now, fresh fruits and vegetables. And if we were to take a poll right now, I would wonder how many people actually come close to that. And I would imagine that very few, if any, come close to 50% every meal every day. And but that's what the USD recommends. And we're going to get into the reason for that in a minute. But why fruits and vegetables? On a very, very basic, very, very, the smallest part of our body is our cells. And our cells make up every tissue, every organ, and you guys have known that if you've had any kind of biology class. You talk about how important cells are to the structure, the basic building structure in our bodies. Healthy cells are your body's frontline defense against oxidative stress. And oxidative stress, this is the way that it was explained to me. If you take an apple or some kind of a light-colored fruit, you cut it in half and you leave it on a table or a countertop, what happens to that? Well, in a few minutes, you're going to notice a little browning. And that's because oxygen is kind of seeping into that fruit, the tissue of that fruit, and it's oxidizing. And it's basically breaking down. It's basically changing in some way. And that's what happens to our cells all the time, every day. And we need something that we're putting into our bodies on a daily basis in order to combat that. And that's why you hear about antioxidants. And vegetables, fruits and vegetables provide the antioxidants needed for healthy cell performance. And if you think about it on a very basic structural level, our bodies need this, and we can't go without it, because that is the root cause of all the diseases that that we see popping up everywhere. Now, bridging the gap. Bridging the gap is what I'm calling this campaign, and the product is called Juice Plus. Now, the motto is that it's the next best thing to fruits and vegetables, and I'm kind of going to go through this little bullet point list because it's important. This is what's in Juice Plus: 25 fruits and vegetables, berries, and grains. Juiced, dried, and it is juiced and dried at low temperatures. Now, let me explain to you why low temperatures are important. A lot of times when you use processing methods, you oftentimes heat is applied. Now, the problem with that is that it ends up destroying or killing the nutrient values that you have in the original elements that you're trying to put into the product. But Juice Plus uses a proprietary method. They first of all, they collect these fresh fruits at the peak of ripeness. Okay, that's another significant thing as well, because it's at the peak of ripeness that you're going to have all the nutrient values that are in the fruits and vegetables. They're dried at low temperatures, and then they're made into powders and eventually into capsule form. And this is important because you are not losing any nutrient value from all the original elements. Why this is important is because fruits and vegetables provide enzymes, which enzymes can be seen as the little motors, that run everything that we that our bodies need. All the little processes, the millions and millions of processes that happen, is because of enzymes. And so fresh fruits and vegetables provide the enzymatic support that we need in order to function, for our bodies to function properly. Now, clinically proven is the next bullet point. And you can research this yourself. I would encourage you to, I can provide resources for you, but it is clinically proven, something that will I can't say enough about how much they've done in order to substantiate their product. It is clinically proven to do a lot of amazing things, and I'm going to share a little bit more about that with you over time as well. In fact, I want you to eventually go to my blog page, and it's going to explain a little bit more about that. Supported by leading health professionals, some of whom I've just mentioned. Dr. Robert Sears and Bill Sears are endorse the product, and they're putting their reputation on the line. Dr. David Katz. There's another guy, Dr. Phillips, that I'm going to show you in a little bit on another slide. He is also another person that's a national speaker, and he endorses the product. He's also a triathlete, but we're going to get into that. But there's health professionals that are willing to put their careers and their reputation on the line for this product. And the other thing is that it's NSF certified and tested, and so you can't get anything with a stronger backing than that. So what is in Juice Plus? Well, Juice Plus is a whole food based. It's really whole foods. It's really whole foods in a capsule form, and you're going to see here. Unlike traditional vitamin supplements, Juice Plus contains naturally occurring phytonutrients. Now that's a big, $25 word there. From fruits, vegetables, and berries. And we're going to talk about phytonutrients in a second here. But this is what you have in fruits. This is the fruits, some of the fruits that they use, and the vegetables, and this is the berry formula. Now, conceptually you understand why it is important to get our nutrients from fruits and vegetables and berries. It's because it's nature's it's been what is called nature's pharmacy. Nature's pharmacy is something that was created to sustain the human body, and that's something that naturally occurs. And I think most people will believe and understand that this is important and the best way for us to get the nutrients available. Now, phytonutrients says phytonutrients create energy. Now, Benjamin Franklin said 100 years ago, he said, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? And I really, really believe that what he said is so true. And the reason being is because of the thousands of phytonutrients that are found in an apple. Now, if you look at this long list of phytonutrients, which these are actually nutrients that are easily absorbed by the body. And you compare that to what's in a multivitamin, you're going to see a stark difference in the list. And it is incredibly difficult to replicate this when you're talking about synthetic man-made vitamins versus an apple. And so this is what you're getting when you take in Juice Plus. And so, it really makes sense to definitely consider this over this. Now this is the long list of research that backs up the product. The most researched brand name nutritional product in the world, and you see some of the really well-known universities such as Brigham Young University, University of Arizona, University of Florida. All of these towns, they don't just have great football teams, but they have actually great medical colleges and universities attached to them. And you have international ones too, like King's College in London and in Germany. And so all of these schools have done independent research and what they call double blind, meaning that it's not subjective at all, and they're not getting any kind of kickback or any kind of incentive for making the product sound good. Clinically proven to put Plus into your life, and these are some of the ways that Juice Plus helps. And I mentioned at the cellular level how important it is for the body to be regenerated. Well, this is definitely at the base level, the most basic level, what the product does. Again, it is readily absorbed by the body, a factor called bioavailability, and that is the body's ability to absorb the nutrients. Now, too often when you take a multivitamin or other vitamin off of the shelf, it goes right through your body because it is not in a form that your body can make use of right away. And so a lot of it is lost, and it goes through us. But this product will be able to be absorbed and to be put to use. It reduces oxidative stress. I talked about oxidative stress and how much havoc it wreaks on our bodies every second. It reduces the key biomarkers of systemic inflation. It mentioned earlier that 116 million people suffer from chronic pain. Well, pain comes from inflammation. So there you go. It's important to take care of those things that cause pain in our lives. Immune system. Everybody knows that a healthy immune system is so key in disease prevention. I have to say that personally, Juice Plus has really been an awesome thing in our family because our kids just don't get sick anymore. I can't remember the last time that our children went to the doctor for a sick visit. Now, I'm going to say that I personally believe that it's a credit to the product. helps protect DNA. You know, I talked about how cancer is so rampant. Well, what is cancer? Cancer is a mutation or a change of cells. And what's in the cells that causes, I mean, okay, this isn't a biology lesson. I'm not going to go through it all with you, but basically it goes back to the DNA. There is something that gets messed up with the information that are in these, in the building blocks of cells and tissues that causes cancer. And so on a very basic foundational level, Juice Plus will help protect that. Cardiovascular wellness is another factor. It's something that we need to pay attention to, especially in America. A lot of cardiovascular disease is, I mean, and it's preventable. It's something that we can actually prevent by healthy diet, exercise, and taking nutritional supplements such as Juice Plus. All right, let's move on here. Juice Plus and skin. A lot of times women will spend so much money on this health product, that health product, because of what it does for their skin, or they'll spend so much money on beauty products to help better their skin. And research shows that Juice Plus has a positive effect on your skin. Better skin hydration, improved skin density, better circulation. If you think about it on the cellular level, how it regenerates the body, it makes sense that it would have these results. And this is Dr. Mitra Ray, who is a biochemist and another professional that endorses the product. But she was quoted saying this: "The kind of beauty that is universally attractive is when your cells are radiating the message of health to the world." And you can see that Dr. Ray takes care of herself because of how pretty she is. So she is a living testament to that message. And so I want to speak to the women about, let's quit spending so much money on these products that probably only take care of the symptoms, like dry skin and whatnot. You want to take care of the heart of the issue, and that's regeneration on the cellular level. And it also helps us with a healthy smile. As I get older, and I mean, I've actually had pretty healthy teeth, especially recently, because I've, early in my teenage and adult years, I decided, I need to take better care of my teeth. And so I've had actually really great dental appointments. And I believe that healthy teeth and gums are an important thing. And Juice Plus helps with this as well. I've heard a statistic that, you can add, I believe it was 10 to 15 years to your life. Statistically, people that take care of their teeth can add 10, 15, maybe even 20 years to their life. Now there's other, my wife tells me, oh, there's all kinds of reasons that might be true, but I mean, generally people that take better care of their teeth are going to have longer lives, and so take it for what it's worth. This will help you do that. And you can see the list of things of why. Healthier gums, reduced inflammation we talked about. And this is another professional that supports it. Good nutrition helps you build a better smile from the inside out. And that's at its root. Juice Plus does all of these things for us. Now, fitness. This is Dr. David Phillips, who is you see that he is an Ironman triathlete. I had the privilege of hearing him speak recently in Honolulu. He talks about protecting and optimizing cellular health through good nutrition is essential for peak athletic performance. Now, he kind of goes through this story about how he was taking all these different supplements and, protein shakes and this super enzyme for athletes and whatnot and all this stuff. And he did a triathlon once, and it took him, the recovery period was like, a long time, and he really suffered a lot, and he was like really wasted and totally just wreaked havoc on his body. But later on, after taking Juice Plus, He noticed personally a dramatic difference in his recovery and his just how he ran the race was so much better, and so he is a living testimony to the power of the product, and you know, and it's people like that that I listen to, people that they're not only professionally qualified to talk about it, but they also put it to practical use as well. And we already talked about some of the reasons that Juice Plus is important in general, but particularly for people that like to live active lifestyles and participate in athletic events. Now, this is something that I want to point you to. And, I mentioned that in our family, that's pretty much the only supplement that we give to our kids at this point. There are other ones that we are going to probably fold in, but Juice Plus is the foundation of our kids' nutrition, aside from, the healthy lifestyle that we try to promote as well. But this is a important thing about Juice Plus, and that is that they provide what is called the Children's Health Study, where with every participating adult, you can get free product for your child for up to 3 years. And this is significant. And if you think about the savings that comes as a result, we're going to get into that in a minute here. But if you look at some of the little bullet points here, and this is a study that's been going on for several years now. Kids have fewer doctor visits right in the middle there. Kids will eat more fruits and vegetables and drink more water. Kids take less prescription medication and over-the-counter. Let's drop that statistic from 25% to 0. And we can do this by giving our kids a healthy alternative and more fruits and vegetables, and to supplement with Juice Plus. 92% have increased positive benefit of some kind. And I have to say that I have noticed in my kids, like I said, we don't go to the doctor anymore, and it's amazing. It's not that they haven't been sick, but they recover. I mean, quickly. They don't. It lasts. Like the last time my kid was sick, he lasted half a day, and it was done, and it was amazing. And so I just want to let you know personally that we have benefited definitely from this product. And this is a gentleman that is well known, Dr. Richard Du Bois. He is a national speaker as well as an authority on infectious disease. But he says that after looking at all the research done on Juice Plus, I recognize that there is nothing else available at any place in the world with or without prescription that has been shown to do all these things in the human body. So he puts his reputation and his experience and his word on the line when he comes out and says something like this. And it's in terms of the cost. Now, a lot of people, that's the thing that's gonna, you're kind of thinking, okay, what is this going to cost me? Well, oddly enough, it doesn't cost much. You can do 3 formulas. Now, this is pretty much what the company does, is these 3 formulas. The berry blend, the orchard blend, and the vegetable garden blend. 25 fruits and vegetables, berries and grains, less than $2.50 a day. Now, $2.50 a day, isn't that worth better health, better nutrition, better all of the things that we mentioned in this presentation? Or you can get the orchard and the garden blends alone, and that's the basic formula Juice Plus that is what most people get, and it's 17 fruits and vegetables and grains, less than $1.50 a day. Come on, that is just nothing to spend for adding more plus into your life. Now, as an extra incentive, Juice Plus will start a new program called the Effect Program, and you can receive free product with your second box of Juice Plus. Now, what the company wants to do is they want you to sign up for at least the initial thing is a 3-month commitment, because ultimately you need to be on this product for at least 3 months in order to be seeing the effects. And so, as an extra incentive, after you get through your first 3 months of the product, they're going to offer you free product if you sign up for the Juice Plus Effect program. And I can go into more details with you on that if you're interested. But so what they offer you has value. You can either get Juice Plus Vineyard Blend capsules or chewables, 2 months supply for free, which is a $50 value. And by the way, I did say chewables. The garden and the orchard blend, the fruits and the vegetable blend, is also available in chewables, and that's what pretty much our kids take on a daily basis. And so, for those of you who have kids that struggle with taking vitamins, like swallowing pills, there's a chewable option, and adults as well. Adults can take that as well. Or the other thing is what they call Juice Plus Complete, which is the same stuff that you get in the pill form, but it's something that you can mix up in a shake. And so 30 free servings, which has a $50 value. And that value is something that people pay attention to these days, especially. So that is something that you can benefit from. Now, I want you to do something today. I want you to, first of all, to visit my website if you haven't, and to it's www.glenarkawa.com, and on the front page of my website you can sign up to be on my email list, and so I'd like you to do that. You can also contact me by phone. Now, if you get a voice message, please leave a message and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And the other way that you can get in touch with me is through email, is glenarakawa@hawaii.rr.com or glenarakawa@gmail.com. Well, I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope that you have enjoyed this presentation. And I want to encourage you. I know that this is probably a lot of information to take in, but it's definitely worth it for you to consider this product and what it can do for you. And I know that personally I have seen some amazing results in my own life and my own well-being. And you can get on my website and check out that information as well. And so with that, thank you for joining me on this training, and it's one of many to come. Appreciate your time. Have a nice day.